Thank you, Mr. Chair. Colleagues, a recent Trevor Project poll found that 56% of LGBTQ plus youth respondents could not access the mental health services that they need. And this committee and others have discussed the state of mental health in America. It was in a crisis before the pandemic. It's been exacerbated by the pandemic, and most acutely within the LGBTQ plus community, and most acutely amongst its youth. So you couple these statistics with the country's lack of protections for the LGBTQ plus community, and it's clear to me that we need to do more to address these mental health disparities. Questions for Dr. Lopez. Can you discuss the factors that contribute to these higher rates of mental health challenges, and what would be the impact of tailoring and providing more mental health services and support for LGBT plus youth?
It is very well known in the literature that discrimination is a main determinant of poor mental health outcomes in LGBT youth. There is no question that discrimination, as has been discussed, against LGBT youth has increased over the last few years, and that is there's research to show that that is a driver of worsening mental health in LGBT youth. So mental health is needed in LGBT youth for sure, but we also need to work on the social aspects that drives that mental health issue, which is discrimination.
Thank you. And it seems that unfortunately, as we should be providing more and stronger protections and support, too many jurisdictions across the country seem to be going backwards and putting LGBTQ plus youth in more vulnerable and dangerous circumstances. The next question I have is not a technical one, not a deep policy question, but I want to talk to you for a minute, Harley. Appreciate you being here today and your courage to speak up and to share. You've shared a lot with the committee, and I'm glad you're sacrificing a bit of what should be your summer vacation to be here. You've talked about the love and support you receive from your parents and doctors and friends. For any of your peers who may be watching today, thinking about maybe how to talk to their parents, how to talk to their friends, maybe not in as welcoming or comforting of a circumstance as you were blessed to have, what words of encouragement would you offer to them, given your experience and given your advocacy?
The main thing I would want to convey to them is that they are not alone. Whenever I started my journey, I had just entered middle school, and as I said, I had to move to online school because of bullying. And I was in a very dark place, and I felt very alone. I had no friends. I just had my parents who were luckily supportive, but as a child, you feel so isolated. And so one of the things that helped me was getting involved in my community. My parents took me to our local PFLAG, which is Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. It was a group of people who was just a round table of queer members of the community and allies who just came together to share their experiences and just have a good time. And I was scared going to that meeting, but as soon as I got there, I felt so welcomed, and it was the first time I did not feel alone. And so that's why I'm here today, to tell those trans kids that they are not alone, that I accept them, and so many other people accept them for who they are because it's not a choice. And that regardless of what people say to you, just remember who you are and stick to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Padilla. Senator Lee.